One of the most amazing places I may ever be able to show you is the Citadel of Montmedy. Here practically every fortification design can be found, and on a massive scale. And both of the best fortress builders of history had a hand here, both Vauban and Citadel Rivières, so you know this is going to be amazing, and it is. In 1221, the first castle of Montmedy was built on top of a hill by Count of Chiny. Over time, it has belonged to Luxembourg, Burgundy, Austria, Spain, taken by the Germans, of course, taken by the French, of course, kept by the French. And the original castle was replaced by a fortress in the 16th century. In 1657, the fort was attacked by 30,000 soldiers, including Louis XIV. Against only 756 defending it. They held out for 57 days. Now that is a testament to the location's soundness itself. Now the medieval town was razed to build a bastion-star citadel by the renowned military engineer Vauban. He advanced the outer fortifications, the moats, the walls. Now I've told you about him in previous episodes. He now built an enclosure with 7 bastions and also enhanced the ramparts of the upper city and ditches, and finally provided the city with all the military buildings essential for the operation of a stronghold. Now all of these changes did not, however, prevent the city from suffering a dreadful siege in 1870 during the Franco-Prussian War. The interior of the city suffered extensive damage under bombardment by the Prussians. The Garde Mobile, raised in the first weeks of the conflict, they lacked the training, and the place was almost devoid of qualified officers of artillery and engineers. And the artillery only consisted of 65 pieces, where only 8 of them were rifled, with ammunition consisted of 35,000 cannon projectiles with 40,000 kilograms of gunpowder, and 6,300 kilograms of gunpowder for rifle, including 116,000 cartridges for the Model 1866 rifle, and 539,000 cartridges for the Model 1857 rifle. The Prussian army opened fire on the fort and the village below. Most houses took damage and fires broke out. Eventually the citadel would surrender, but only with the rest of France as well. Now, during the French Revolution, 1791, the fortress was the anticipated destination of King Louis XVI and his family in their unsuccessful attempt to escape Paris. They were recognized because he just had to stop at a local restaurant and try their pig's feet. Poor Marie Antoinette, she could have done better. The last change were to be commissioned by Citadel Rivières, the premier French fortress engineer of the 19th century. More about him a little later. He buried the powder stores into the stone, also strengthened key parts with cement. In 1872, the general acknowledging that the stronghold could no longer meet the progress of artillery, but still began to prepare for more modern defenses here. However, many of these were not to be. In 1914, at the beginning of the First World War, there was a garrison in the fortress of Montmedy. But from the beginning of the war, it was decided to evacuate the fortress and the garrison of 2,300 men instead of fighting. They tried to reach Verdun, but caught out in the open, only 20 men and 1 officer eventually achieved that goal. The rest of them were caught and killed by German forces. Subsequently, the Germans set up a hospital at the Citadel. Also, Montmedy was a logistical important center for the Germans during the war. Indeed, it was connected to Verdun by the narrow-track railroad already from the beginning of 1914, and this railroad was of vital importance for the resupply of forward troops. and it was bombed at least once during the First World War by Allied planes, as seen here in this rare photo. Now, enough talk about this place, this enormous place. Let's take a look at it.
So the driveway in, well, this bridge was built in what, 1839, because it was just old. There's only one way into the fort. There's a guardhouse down there, there's a guardhouse here, there's a guardhouse up there. You're covered by fire as you pull in towards the fort. It's absolutely brilliant.
Two drawbridges here, look. A main one and a baby one.
I know.
You see, you know? You can't see that anywhere else. For the foot passengers.
I know. It's just
Awesome.
And in here, you'd just be covered from all sides.
Yeah, I've seen Armenian castles like that. Captured
And also, we didn't know that we have lost the weapon. It's made twice the...
You need more carrier pigeons.
And all the doors and gates in here, brilliant.
To the railway tunnel? Where did that start?
Ah, hold on. Oh, it's first... and the tunnel collapse. Explosion. It goes long.
Yes.
And you go down.
That's a hell of a view from up here, though.
This gives you command over the whole countryside. And these bastions are virtually indestructible.
I mean, they are.
They should have stayed. Fought it out, for God's sake. As Vauban said, the sole purpose of a fortress commander is to impose a delay on the enemy.
Yeah.
He can never hope to hold out forever. Come a point where he's run out of ammunition or food, and then he has to surrender. But if he's imposed a delay, it gives our men a chance to regroup.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the fortress, to impose a delay. And here they didn't do it. They cut and ran, and ended up half of them killed and the rest in the prison camps.
You could barely, with a musket back. When was this fort built? This was 1700s?
Yeah, but don't forget you've got a wall gun. You've got a 19mm smoothbore.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to go a long way.
And we're shooting a downhill trajectory anyway, so.
And I've seen one of those in the Belgian Army's testing centre. I've seen what one of those does to the block of to represent the jelly to represent the human body.
Oh yeah, that's always great tests.
And the 19mm ball on a small charge fired across the laboratory made a tunnel about 4 meters long. And it was massive. It's 19, 20 or 20mm.
So do you see this as a fortified village with the village church, or was this an outright fortress?
Well, it's a citadel. Basically.
It's a citadel, right?
That's the garrison church.
I mean, you could say it's a fortified village, because there's a village inside. Did they live here when they weren't under attack?
Yes.
Okay, so it was a fortified village.
Now you're starting from the wrong direction. A fortified village is a village where they build a wall around it. Yeah, they built a fortress and then they made living quarters in it. They did it back to front.
All right.
Séré de Rivières planned as the last things he planned. He was going to put 155 turrets here. The retracting turrets. I think there were either 2 or 3 turrets. they were going to build in at this end. And if they'd had those, they might have put up a fight. And Bourbon came along with the King of France and laid siege to it and captured it. And then he had to work out the best way to defend a place like this against somebody like himself. Then Séré de Rivières, when he was building the forts around Verdun, he wanted to put in the 105 Galopin turrets, 155 1905 model giant retracting turrets, and they would have been invulnerable. They stood up to everything. In Verdun, they tunneled through the solid bastions, and they had tunnels leading to 75mm quick-fire guns and machine guns.
So this is actually a bastion. That's a bastion. We were just on there. That's solid underneath.
Yeah, and it fires along the ditch. It's got gun ports to fire.
So they did drill into the bastion, and
yeah, there are tunnels through the bastion. But the ones in Verdun were solid in the rock. This is flanking fire along the fortifications. But if you had gun ports pointing towards the enemy, very difficult to hit them when they're buried in the bastion.
yeah. And that's dirt. That's earth underneath that. That's not solid rock or.
Oh, that's rock.
Is that rock? Are we on rock?
We're on a rock. We're on a big rock. This place was a citadel since pre-Roman times. This would be a 155 or a 120 gun position here. Well, they'd have had muzzle-loading cannons.
Is this Franco-Prussian 1870 or is this World War I?
No, this is after they'd have put the 1877 cannons here.
And this was, let's see, where are we? This was still France after the Franco-Prussian War.
Yes, the France. And they had guns on the ramparts, like on all the citadels and all the forts.
You don't think for the 1880s this would have been a breech-loading gun?
1877 it was a steel-barreled breech-loading gun.
It was a breech-loading gun.
If only they had covered it with a concrete or a steel protection, they could have kept them. But they never thought of that.
I guess building fortifications after 1871 was a sore point for the French. The mitrailleuse was not a bad. The Germans were scared of it.
But they put it on a field gun carriage and set them up in lines, meaning to massacre the Prussian infantry. But they forgot that they were putting machine guns in place of cannons. And the Krupp breech-loading cannons blew the machine guns to pieces because they were out of range.
But they did a nightmare work on the Prussian cavalry.
Ah, yeah.
The mitrailleuse did was a nightmare for the Prussian cavalry.
There's one place where they correctly emplaced the mitrailleurs in enfilade, hidden behind hedges and woods, and then they massacred them because you fire along the line.
Yeah.
And they created havoc with the Prussian infantry at that point. But only one action. The rest of the actions, they lined them up like cannons.
Yeah.
And they were destroyed before they could even open fire. That's in my film script in Bazin.
Oh. So this is under the rampart, isn't it? Or
Yeah, I don't know where this leads.
I don't know where that is either. That makes it interesting. That's always a good sign when we don't know where things go. But it keeps going, so I'm not unhappy.
Oh, it goes to one of those flanking gun positions to fire to the left.
Oh, gee, well. So this has got to be the original 18th century construction, right? Or
Yes.
or could this be older? No. Ah. Ooh. We're going in every direction. I don't know which one to start with. I know. This is where we want to go.
That's the gun port, look.
Yes.
Along the ditch.
This is the.
This might be the place out into the. But normally we go through a ruined bit.
I'm sorry. I'm having an EUA moment. So.
Oh.
Do you think this was a gun position that was blocked off?
Position for flanking fire along the wall
It is, isn't it? This would have been.
to the next bastion.
I wonder why they cut out. This looks like a deliberate cutout. of the cement covering.
Concrete. Look, this is concreted
Yeah.
as well.
I mean,
They did reinforce this place, if, you know, while they were planning to put turrets into it.
all right. So this is as far as we go on this.
Yep.
So then there's the other side.
And of course, here you'd have the smooth bore guns to fire out all the way along. Yeah, the grass is a bit in the way. But
That's a
normally
bit-
you could put a 5-barrel. That's a bit of a squeeze to get any.
This is almost, you know, this almost remembers, you know, this is not a firing position, Roger. If this is the original door, this would be sort of where, this is where the infantry would go out on the covered walk, isn't it? I mean, isn't that, it's a sortie port. Isn't that sort of a covered walk we got outside? I can't see for the grass. Maybe we can see on the other side. Because there got to be a way to get
it again.
Yeah, oh yes. There got to be a place to put infantry out on this rampart. Oh yeah, yeah, that's why it's just coming down. This staircase is very small, so be very little careful. This is not very wide steps. They must have had small feet then. Well, I mean, it is, isn't it? Well, you'd fill out infantry over here on
The
the
ramparts.
yeah.
The lower line of ramparts.
Yeah, this isn't a covered walk. No. Yeah, you'd fill fill infantry out here to shoot. Yeah. A fire, that's brilliant. Oh wait, so what do we got here? AHJ. I got engraving here in the side. Can you see what that says? There's also engraving here. Look here, there and there.
AHJ.
Did somebody engrave that? Do you think? Is that original? Into the stone? I can't tell.
Oh. Ah, look, 1880. That's 80. Is that 88?
I think that's 88 or 1880.
Somebody here in 1880, 1888.
Fabulous.
Oh, I've not been down this bit before.
Who was garrisoned here in
14. They had infantry normally, obviously. They had artillery for the cannons on the ramparts. They had these Hotchkiss revolvers. They had 120s and 155s out in the open.
for the First World War?
Yeah. And when Longwy was attacked, Longwy was a bastion citadel that held out for a while against the Prussian guards. Killed loads of them before they had to give in and surrender. And the Kaiser came along and wept at the graves of his own Prussian guard. He hated Longwy. Now, hearing that Longwy had fallen, which was never, concreted or anything like that, it's just a Vauban fortress with bastions. The troops here, oh, you know what that is? That's for fixing the lamp.
Yeah, it's a mount.
Locking the lamp, isn't it? As we saw in Regret.
Exactly. Anyway, he was
a lovely stonework here.
It is. Now, what were you saying?
When the troops here learned that Longwy had fallen, they decided to make a run for it. What they should have learned from that lesson was Longwy had resisted, and this place could have resisted much better.
I mean, what, you ran from this place?
They ran from this place. They evacuated it. And they were heading for Verdun, across the fields, and they were overtaken by German cavalry, infantry, machine gunners, and they were bogged down. They had guys running in panic, falling in the rivers. Oh look, there's a building stone, look.
Oh, yes.
They had guys in such a panic, they were falling off little bridges into the river and drowning in their haste to escape.
And they had this amazing fort. They could just sat here.
Well, look how Troyon resisted. And it's nothing like this. And at the worst of the bombardments, I reread it. The garrison at Troyes were asked for permission to temporarily evacuate the place and go and hide in shelters alongside. And then when the German bombardment had ended, they all rushed back in. So, yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, but Troyes never fell. It wasn't half of this. I mean, there's not a lot of things that are half of this. So this is infantry firing positions.
Yes.
That's brilliant. Now this has got to be part of original design.
Yeah, there'd have been muskets firing out of here. Just like when we were at that star fort.
Yeah. Little staircase that is. Yeah, because there's no reason to have vertical firing ports here, because you can see much further than you can shoot, so you have to have a little sloping firing position leading down to something you can actually hit. I mean, what a brilliant place. This is absolutely gorgeous, this is.
It's the giant above ground on the top of a hill version of where we were at the star fort.
I know. So they just abandoned this for World War I.
Yeah.
And the Germans moved in and...
Yeah. And the Germans blew up the Caponia in the ditch round to the right and took photos of it to say, wow, we had to fight our way into this place.
There's not a lot of glorying saying that, well, they all fled. Actually, I would say there's a hell of a lot more glory in taking a place without losses or fighting than there is in fighting for it.
Scaring them out of it, yeah. If you can do that, why not?
I would rather call my commanding officer that took a position. How many people did you lose? None. Yeah, they sloped down.
So they tried to drag their guns with them. They tried to drag their machine guns with them. Or they spiked the bigger guns. And they ran away. It's so tragic.
So the Germans sat here until literally the end of the war. There was never a counteroffensive, was there?
No, never a counteroffensive here. Because, the French, if they didn't come here, they'd have smashed it up with their rail guns and things like that.
Oh, that would have been... That would have been
knocked about.
Yeah.
The ramparts would have been smashed in. Yeah. Nice trees as well. It's quite a nice... It would be great to have a little house here.
Oh, bloody hell, yes.
Holiday home or something.
It's a little bit like in the Star Fort of Boitage. You live in the center of that as well.
Yeah.
Although you're surrounded by mosquitoes because it's surrounded by waterways, so I would take this any day.
Look at the concrete. That is concrete.
I know.
That is 1889 concreting in preparation for fitting the turrets here. A priority of mine.
I mean, even if... So this is one of the open artillery positions.
Yes.
That are interspersed by the magazines.
That's a hacksaw casemate.
Yeah.
Hacksaw casemate for powder on the ramparts themselves.
And what about this? What is this?
Just a blind wall, isn't it?
It is. It's a dead-end wall here, yeah.
But that's the direction the enemy attacks from. You can rush men to defend it.
Yeah. The only thing you don't want to do is leave.
The enemy bombards it. Bastion 15. But
we'll get into
when
this.
they finish, they send in the assault troops. So you mount your machine guns and you kill them all.
Yeah. I mean, they could even have done a cheaper version here, like at Mutzig, where they put up naval guns, like steel dome guns. They didn't have a rotating turret. You'd put up a steel turret, shield here.
A shield.
You'll be fine. Something like a half dome with a gun, like a battleship. They could just plunk that down here. Hell, it wouldn't even have to have been retractable. They could have just put a concrete slab here, put a couple of heavy naval guns with a shroud.
The hacksaw casemate. The powder magazine.
And that was named after him.
Hacksaw, the military engineer. Of course, it's a town. So if you fought it out, the town would be destroyed.
There is that, but that But that never really did seem to occur into most people's calculations when you talked about a war.
Towns and villages will be blown up anyway.
Exactly. It's like really, yeah, there's a town, we're gonna blow it up, just suck it up.
If they dug down and put underground troop shelters, if they put 2 or 3 turrets here, you could hold this place for months.
Yeah. On a hilltop? Oh God, yes.
And the town would have been smashed up, but they smashed up so many times anyway.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh, well, they have bees.
Well, it's virtually impossible for the infantry to get in here.
Yeah.
There are killing zones everywhere that Vauban built into it.
This have evolved in a lot of interesting ways. If only it had the World War I steel incorporation as well, that would have been amazing.
Yes. Well, what you have over here are the Séré de Rivières peacetime barracks. Okay.
Well,
and they would live there during peacetime, and another hacksaw casemate for the cannon here. You got the peacetime casemates with their fancy stonework.
and the bread oven.
And then, you know, when there's a bread oven in there. And then when they're being bombarded, they they leg it to the concrete bit. Hacksaw casemate. The powder for this cannon.
Look,
here.
it's open.
There's so many ways to get to the ramparts as well. What's wrong with my torch? It's pathetic.
Well, I don't know what kind of powder magazine you thought this were.
Yeah, but it's a toilet.
Uh-huh.
Well, the gunners are going to need to relieve themselves.
So it's a powder magazine on the can. I mean,
The powder magazine would have been here.
Yeah.
And they built in that. That's later.
it is a later construction, isn't it? That's got, yeah, that's with the yellow brick. That's much later.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I feel very vulnerable when I take a crap. So doing it in a powder magazine, I'm okay with.
But as long as you didn't take a smoke at the same time.
Well, we are in France, so that's an entirely real possibility. That's up to the next one.
Oh, the initial. The steps have gone. Someone's nicked them for you in their house, probably. Two ways into the casemates.
Yeah.
The hacksaw.
So that I'm curious about because the peacetime barracks is down here. Yep.
I think I'm positioned in there.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's a ventilation for the magazine.
I mean, I know there's a bread oven under some of it because you can't get into it from this side either. We're not, are we? No.
All these big 155 cannons here. See, they're protected from direct fire,
Yeah.
but not from overhead.
All we need is a steel shield. Wow.
As promised, let's talk more of Raymond Adolphe Séré de Rivières, born in 1815, died in 1895. He was a French military engineer and a general whose ideas revolutionized the design of fortifications in France. He gave his name to the Séré de Rivières system, fortifications constructed after the Franco-Prussian War of 1870. He is described as the Vauban of the 19th century. His Belgian counterpart at the time was Henri Alex Brialmont. Him we've also spoken of before. In 1833, he initially studied law, and he was later admitted to the École Polytechnique. in 1835 and left with the rank of second lieutenant. He then enrolled in the École d'Application d'Artillerie et de Guerre at Metz, where he became familiar with the principles of permanent fortifications. In 1839, he joined the 2nd Regiment of Engineers at Arras, where he refined his studies, inspired by the ideas of the Marquis de Montmedy. He was promoted to lieutenant in 1841, then captain 2nd class in 43, and was nominated to the engineering district of Toulon in April of the same year. At this post, he showed his abilities with design of fortifications. In June 1873, Séré de Rivières became Secretary of Committee of Defense, which had been established by the Prime Minister. Now he had the opportunity to explain in detail his plan for the reorganization of the French border defense. The plan envisioned a combination of offense and defense, with both static and moving elements. The plan was based on a system of strong defensive lines that would channel an enemy to a waiting army. The system took into account the evolution of armaments and sought to maneuver an attacker away from Paris. This concept was first proposed by Vauban, but was not according to the taste of his time. But now it was the time for new bold ideas. Rivière's idea took root, and his work can be seen across the French defenses of the late 19th century. His governing idea concerning fortifications to defend a given place using detached forts arranged in a line was first used in a place where Séré de Rivières worked. In all, 196 forts, 58 smaller works, and 278 batteries were built along the borders and at strategic points within the country based on his ideas and designs.
The bread oven is in there.
Yeah.
All the chimneys there. I think that's the place we died down. Germans blew up a bit of the structure in there to make it look like they'd attacked it. So
Is there any part of fortress design we don't see here?
no, there's every element basically.
The only thing we don't see is a moat, maybe, but
Well, no, but you've got the slope to take the place of the moat. That's a demi-lone. Look, you've got a ramp to tow the guns up, look.
yeah.
And if the enemy captures that place, well, they're under fire from this place. So,
Yeah.
like when the Germans got on the top of Mortom and Hill 3 or 4, they all raised their flags in delight. And all the forts facing them opened fire. They had to run for their lives. They had to dig tunnels to hide. It was so sad. They thought the cost of thousands of shells and thousands of men that they got somewhere. Oh look, this place was blown up in 1870, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
By Prussians?
Like they did at Belfort. When Denfert Rochereau said, I'm going to defend this place. And the citizens said, oh no. And then the Prussians started bombarding it in 1870. And the citizens said, please surrender. And he said, stop that. And the citizens were furious because their town was being blown up. And this is another hacksaw piece made.
I know, but it's here, and maybe there's not a toilet in it. It is a very small.
Well, it's a ready-use magazine, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't put a lot of powder in here, which could be blown up.
Little cracking.
You bring it up. Oh yeah. Yes, I noticed that. In the other one.
Yeah, I see that more here.
Well, they don't have earthquakes in France. Minor ones. But
Why should you be exempt? But yeah, I mean, civilians in warfare, they always seem to, get shafted.
yeah.
It's like, we can take it, says you in your bunker.
Yes. This is a place to drag your cannons through from where you have hidden them when the enemy approaches.
Well, there's a way of finding out what's down here.
I I take their way down into the smash because of the video.
I think you're right, and I can actually get through here. I'll almost set that optimistically. May also have lied. This is a bigger powder magazine.
Oh, yeah.
So was this in a time of separate fuses? When this was built? It wasn't, was it?
No, they just threw the fuses and base fuses, I think.
Yeah, there was no separation of shell and fuse. I was looking at the small little...
Well, the 1877 ones
That
were
one.
fused.
Yeah.
Prior to that, there were the round cannonballs, and then there were the studded shells for the muzzle loaders.
Yeah.
You ran the studs into the rifling, and then you got the breech loaders. The studded shells, I think, were fused.
C'est par là. Par là, de là où on sort. Juste à côté de la palette vous avez un chemin, vous descendez, voilà. Et là, vous avez les spires possibles.
What an amazing place.
Exactement, c'est ça.
We've been looking at other strange places. Oh, it could have been closed last time we were here. Who needs a lamp? Lamp just ruins light. Wait a minute. Well, there's plenty of staircase to go around here. So this is taking us all the way down to the lower ramparts.
The ditch.
The ditch.
Between the outer and the inner ramparts.
How gorgeous this is. Well, now I'm conflicted. I see tunnels in multiple directions. Ooh. Well,
Oh yeah, look.
I think
It was right along above the caserne.
it's like we have to go in every direction, so I don't really know where to start.
No, we go back to the right to get into the ditch.
All right. Oh, this is into the cassette. This is into the cassette. Holy crap on a stick.
Yeah, we're in the yes.
Fort Ulrich. These were falling down, and I actually stepped on them. I knew I recognized them. Well, since we're in the caserne, may as well continue here for a minute, get that done. We're here.
So they can rush out of the caserne to the ramparts. Séré de Rivières bedrooms, I think.
And these have been looking, this way for how many? At least 100 years of fortress construction?
1874, they started building Dome 1, all that, and the others.
These but bedrooms have looked this way for as long as I can remember seeing forts from this vintage.
From the black paint to get rid of the rats.
No, the spiders.
They should use this for conferences.
No, they shouldn't, and you know why? If they would ruin it. And not only would they ruin it, well, we need fire extinguishers, we need
Wheelchair access.
we need a building. They would destroy it. Yeah, we can't do anything today. We're way too fragile to actually. Modern people shouldn't be allowed to have nice things.
Yeah, really come down that steps there. Get our next coat on the wire loose through.
I don't remember this part.
Some of them are the bedrooms. But
Ooh, I see tunnels in every direction here. I am intrigued.
well, it would have been a huge house, wouldn't it? You could put several thousand troops in here. With hundreds of machine guns.
Especially if we kick out all the civilians.
Yeah, that's the bitch. We're doing it to save you.
Yes, we're doing it to save you now. Get out. I think they're in one of the casernes in there, but unless we're still.
There's a lovely view here as well of the that blocks the shut-off staircase that goes Up and to the right, up to the left, up to the right. It's beautiful, that one. Look.
Oh, yeah.
See it? You don't see things like that. I mean, come on. That must be Séré de Rivières when he dug out.
And it's done on arches. Yeah. It's an arch on an arch and an arch with a staircase on top of the arch. Yeah. So what is down here? I thought I saw a light. I thought I saw a pussycat. Well, I don't know. What am I seeing here? I see a brick wall with holes in it that looks like plumbing.
No. The middle bit's missing.
That's exactly what it does.
Mounting there. There, the holes.
Ah.
Hold it. That might be one of those toilets in the house.
Maybe that's why they bricked it up, because it was sewage. Beautiful out here. Here's the ovens.
Oh yes. Well, they'd have it on top, wouldn't they? If they, yeah, the bread ovens. If they were down below and there was a fire, that would be bad. So they have it on the roof.
I mean, it is a stone fort.
Everything burns. Come on.
Yeah, true. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's another one.
Well, there. There's one in there.
And there's one right here as well. Right there.
Oh, they could rebuild one of those, at least one. Come on. Why they bake bread for the tourists? Oh, I ate bread, in the cafe down there. It was baked in a Vauban oven.
Oh, right.
What do they think of things like that?
They're going to say money, destruction of heritage, liability, I don't know. Or is that just my American way of... Well, they're probably going to whine about how much it'll cost. It can't cost that much. It's a brick oven.
Yeah, well, what you do, and down below is the burning bit.
Yeah.
The furnace.
Yeah, you literally had a fire down there and they bake the bread up here.
Chimney.
Well, there's a hole in the ceiling right there. Maybe...
Oh, yeah. Oh, perhaps down on the right, there was a chimney there that's collapsed. I don't know. Well, there's another air and light tunnel here.
Oh, yes, here's the light, yes. The light tunnel. Oh, well, this looks like it's been modified.
This must have, before it was an oven in here, this was one of the gun ports here. To fire along the ramparts.
Oh, yes. Oh, bloody hell.
Little cannon in there.
I mean, you can bake your bread and you can keep an eye on the battle. I mean, so are you coming up on lunch on the battle yet? Because we'll put the kettle on. We'll put the kettle on. Oh, you look tired. I mean,
this place is amazing.
It really is.
And they threw it away. It just stuns me. If I was the general in charge of this sector, I'd have known about this. And I'd have said to the officer commanding it, you are going to hold out here for as long as you can. And he said, that's not going to be very long. I don't care. You do it as long as you can. And then you'll find out you could do it for longer than you imagined. And the whole slot here, which leads up to the chimney.
Brilliant, this is.
It's
No, so what we're going to do is when we win the lotto, we'll buy the bloody place. And then, which of course will be bad for people living here, because they'll all be kicked out. Well, they have to suffer. And then we'll make it into a little hotel, and then we'll make them fresh bread.
There's one good thing. It's not going anywhere. This place has survived so long. It's so massive. It's not going anywhere. And the black paint.
You mean they're not going to sell it to developers and ruin it?
Like they did to the offshore forts around Portsmouth, barring the labour base. They sold them to private individuals. Those hotels and stuff.
No, I mean, what else are you going to do with them, honestly? And just look at how thick the walls are of the bakery of the Cassan here.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, why are these walls so thick down here?
Yeah, look. That's for putting shutter protection in, look.
I know.
You put bar after bar after bar and you build it up.
But why would you need that in?
A top there.
But you're in the inside peacetime barracks. I mean, why would?
Yeah. But if there's a surprise attack and shells hit you, you want to stop the fragments getting in.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's just amazing how thick that is for something you really don't expect to be a thing. You don't expect to be a battle down here. And if the shells come, they should come from above. It's wonderful, squeaky, thinny little steppies.
You have to turn your feet sideways, don't you? To be sure you're getting down here.
Yeah.
I don't know how many hobnail boots you can, but
Oh, are there any marks in them? And the funny thing is, when you move on into the early 20th century, the casernes look the same. I mean, at least visually designed.
there's one that we've missed out on. Fort Leuville, and there's a range of single-level casernes, and the windows, instead of being arches like this, guess what? They are shells. There's a shell and another shell and a little arch over the top.
Ooh.
Never seen that. It's a special architectural feature in
No kidding.
Leuville.
Well, I found the bathrooms again.
Yep.
One would think I seek these things out. All right. I keep telling my friend she's an architect in Los Angeles, and she works for ultra-rich people, of course. I keep telling her, start selling them bomb shelters, fallout shelters. I mean, you know they're all panicking ever since the riots. All right, let's rock the rampart. I don't think it is a song, but it's Rock the Casbah, but I'm just saying we could do a remake of a... Why don't we have a fortress exploration song?
I wonder what's down here.
Oops, there's a hole. It could actually be a World War I British soldier song. Oops, there's a hole. Oops, there's another hole. Oops, there's barbed wire. Oops, there's my... A lot of oopsing in British songs in my mind, I don't know why. This actually goes up into... Exactly.
It's shell-shaped, yeah.
It is. This goes up in a point. This is not quite an oval, not an egg.
I wonder if this was a Spanish thing to copy their helmets. You know?
Yeah. Or their well, there's a great bloody hole in the wall. Why?
The Germans.
Pourquoi?
To pretend that they bombarded the place and captured it.
I will say that looks like a very square hole. It does sort of seem like it belonged. It was made on purpose.
Well, there might have been a firing point up there. I don't know.
Well, that would be facing. Where would this be facing?
That's facing sort of north.
I can give you a good idea how thick the walls are. We're back to the construction part again.
Are we halfway down already?
Yeah, it didn't feel like we were going down at all. This must have been a firing point of some sort.
They had a cannon really far along the far along the ditch. They'd have had a platform with one of those big Hotchkiss revolver cannons. I know. I mean, you know, those things were designed to stop you getting into the ditch, or in the ditch, or stayed in the ditch.
Look at this. The design features everywhere. This must have been ventilation. I think there's a wooden plate up there to close it off with the outside. So does that continue?
What? Oh. Yes, it's another tunnel under the past. Well, but this is how you get out. This is how you get out.
Well, we're going to come back to down this thing anyway. All right, we'll follow the little mini bat here. I would imagine that is another entry or exit, like this. Huh. Oh, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like at least it was plastered. And there's wooden attachments on the wall for cabling. I would imagine maybe did the Germans set up a headquarters type thing here, or? Like,
but then they would have put the electric power in the generators.
I mean, I'm seeing the wooden pokes up there. Looks like that would have hold wires. What are these?
Yeah.
Except deep and in multiple directions. Could this be communication?
Might be. This is a signaling post. That's curious.
All right, you don't want to come down here because the staircase is ruined, and I'm wearing my soft shoes, so I'm just going to do something stupid on my own because it's all collapsed. So.
We're getting down to the bit that the Germans blew up.
Yeah, well, that sort of explains why there's rubble all the way down here.
Yeah.
But, you know, I can't help myself, but just because I'm sliding on my soft shoes doesn't mean I have to stop, right? Let's see, I think this must be the end of something. I was wrong. Oh, crap in a stick. Yeah. This is not the end.
Goes on and on.
Oh, yes, it does. Well, if I don't come back, my passport and my money's in there, so. Well, I mean, just because it's collapsing old fort doesn't mean that it's a collapsing old fort. My bag came down with me? Wow. No, there's a ruined staircase. I'm going to crawl down that because it's not that ruined. It's better than the one I came down here with. And here we are. Ah, the collapse. The collapse. I have found the collapse. All right, well, I had to go down here. Coming back. There was a tunnel. It ended painfully. Parts are missing. Things were said and done. And there's my bag. My bag literally did come out after me. All right.
These inanimate objects have a life.
I thought I put it down square and solid. All right.
I think you were getting excited at the time.
So was my bag. My bag was getting excited. Come, Igor. All right. Well.
Yeah, this is the guided tour goes.
Are you saying I went off track?
Yeah.
Are you saying that was not part of the guided tour where I was?
If I could press that button there, we get lights. There. Just on your.
Here's the ventilation.
There's a button for lighting. Look.
I don't trust their light. No.
You don't want that light?
No, because I see that's those. It's those horrible light bulbs.
As well, but they don't have to go there.
Right, this is I think the Germans have blocked it.
Oh, yes.
There's a room down there. Foraging board. Oh, do you need light?
No, at all. We'll be down here without light. Oh, mind your head. It's very dodgy headroom here.
I'm not that tall. Then again, they keep saying that about Napoleon, and he was 5'8", which was actually very tall for the day.
Right. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Super room. What is that doing here? Oh.
There's a lot of, what the hell is this thing going on here?
Yeah, this stone slab thing. What did they build this for?
Do you think this was a part of an outer wall once?
No, this may have been a support for one of the turrets they were going to put in. I don't know. Because it would have been up above with its chamber for going up and down. Yeah, they might have been propping up a bastion to...
But wouldn't they have done that in cement? Well,
that's just...
What is this? These are bricks. They look like bricks. Don't they?
No, they're stone blocks.
They're stone blocks.
Well, that is weird. No idea what that was.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a big room, isn't it?
It is. And I suppose it is here as well. This is part of that too. This is the same. This one's the same too.
Isn't it? I reckon we're going to put a turret up there.
I mean, we would, but
yeah.
I'm fairly certain that if we got our own fortress, we'd put 4 turrets everywhere. It would be like this.
Then we could go for Nick like they did in in Fairmont.
So now we're out in the ditch. And here's your diamond ditch. Ish.
Yes, it is a diamond-ish, isn't it?
And these firing positions that must have been in there have been tore up pretty damn good.
By the Germans.
By the Germans.
They blew them up to make it look like they'd bombarded.
And here they have been somewhat trying to restore them from falling down, which is a good initiative. We like good initiatives of restoring things, or at least blocking them up as we crawl under them.
Look, there's a drain like an old gargoyle.
Oh yeah.
Dripping from it from up above.
So, what is this, a ravine we're looking at there?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Middle of the ditch.
Wow.
These were firing ports.
This is so bloody big. When you stand here, you look at this.
Ah, look up there. 2 levels of firing ports, look.
So that's where that's one of the hallways I could have gone into. That would have had it wasn't because I went the other way. I was way in that thing.
Yeah. How you get in there? There's no evidence there.
But I mean, for an advancing army to get here, if they even got here, this is so large and imposing. I mean,
The machine gun in there is going to hold off.
But even if there wasn't any weaponry, if you weren't being shot at, where do you go from here? And what, are you going to climb this wall? It's like sitting in the middle of a ship dock. You're surrounded by walls. It's amazing.
Look, there's a gun report out to the right, firing out to the right.
Yeah.
Covering the diamond ditch.
All right, great leader. Where the hell do we go now? Left or right? Or up or down? We got 3 directions. I'm confused. Huh? You're just taking the easy way down because it's leading down.
Original rock they carved this place out of. Yeah, and built on top of it.
Yeah.
Right up behind you. Right to the roof of this demi-lune or ravelin, whatever you call it.
Well, it might be ravelin. I can't see it. I can't see what it is because it's so damn big.
That's what they call it.
Counter?
There's more rock here, look.
Yes, I know.
But now you know where they got the stones to build the fortress.
Okay, yeah, it's counter guard, yeah. I mean,
whatever that means. I haven't studied more band. Oh no.
I think we're just going to go around this spiky. I mean, it looks like a ship.
The prow of a ship, the ram bow of a.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just.
Scale the wall. Yeah.
I mean, look at this. Is amazing.
That's why I brought you in here to show you the ditch. Look at the points, the peaks to stop you. Yeah, that's a battleship tearing down on us, isn't it?
It is.
We're about to be rammed amidships by a pre-dreadnought going at 18 knots.
I mean, if you
we are fucked.
if you come down here as a lone infantryman, or hell, you can bring your entire battalion down here. Where do you go?
You turn the corner and the Hotchkiss cannon there blows you to bits.
He'll shoot at you. Or those guys up there will shoot at you. Presumably there are dudes up there on this thing that'll shoot at you. So, I mean, Jesus. Even with a lisp. Awesome.
in Rome, he's the leader of a quack legion. I'm full about laughing. Anybody who laughs will be sent to the arena.
He has a wife, you know.
He has a wife, you know. That's a classic, the life of Brian. My God, that is big. That's as big as a fortress, and it's just stuck in the ditch of this one.
Yeah, well, this is not even the fortress, this is the ditch. We're just in the damn ditch.
Bastion of
Wow.
tunnels. Oh yeah, this is a bastion. 10. We're gonna get lost. We'll never get out.
Yeah, we're going the wrong way though. We probably should have gone the other way because that's where the...
Oh,
Isn't it?
no, there was only one way.
No, that's the other way. Well, we had...
No, it's over there. I think.
This is coming up the way we were up there. Look at the bees there.
Okay. So we have to go there and to the right to find the end of the end of the circuit. Yeah. I think this is the tribe of pygmies. You must jump up and down.
Well, I see a tunnel, so I'll be right back.
Okay, the Fatawi tribe. You know about that, don't you?
Yes.
They're 4 foot high when the grass is 5 foot high. And all day long, jump up and down and say, "We're the Fatawi, we're the Fatawi."
This is somewhat slippery. Wow. We always do World War I and World War II, but you forget the real amazing stuff came before. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know when I'm going to come out. If I'm going to come out. Well, if you see this, I came out. Ooh, this is out. What does that mean? Where am I then? Am I out on another firing position or rampart? Where am I here? I don't know. I have no idea where I am. I'm probably still in France, but I can't always be sure. Ooh, this looks like a covered walk. Ooh, wait a minute. Look at this. Here we got stairs leading up to a firing platform. Doesn't this look like something we've seen before? This is just... Maybe it will hold me, maybe it won't. And then out here would be the enemy. This is a built-up ditch here. No, but built-up firing position. This is. There's more of them down there. Like a little screening position where infantry could come out. Wow. And then I go back up again. I wonder if this could be detonated on the off chance the enemy took this place, because it would, theoretically, be a way into the fort. So this can't be the very outside. This couldn't have been the outside. It wouldn't have it would actually be a back door for the enemy into the fort. That would seem very strange. Wow.
Well, if we get to Ghent on the lake, we've got a good excuse.
We got lost in a very large fort shaped like an enormous battleship. Yeah, I think so. We're not going this way at all. This is a very, very small room.
It says
So could some of these holes be Prussian 1870 as well?
Or the reinforced bit.
Yeah.
The giant stone. You've abandoned your party, is it?
No, I have finished my my visit. Also,
you saw us wandering around. Were the cameras that noticed us?
no. Just because I'm working for the history of Montmedy.
They couldn't get in. And they ran for it.
Right. No more budget, and also no turrets. The cannon inside, and the cannon flank all of this part of the wall and in the fosse.
Yeah.
French or German cannon?
French cannon.
And the Germans did that.
And the Germans destroyed it. Maybe like the Caponier for propaganda information.
Yes.
Because there is no battle during the First World War, but there is some destruction during the 1870 battle.
Yes. Did the Germans use the Citadel?
During the
First World War.
no, the French used the Citadel against the Germans, and the Germans.
When they captured it, were they based here or did they ignore it?
For the occupation garrison. Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Yes.
But there was never
But
any
the Germans fire 5,000 shell in the Citadel. During this battle and during the battle in 1815 here,
1815,
we don't know that we have lost the war, and we're still fighting.
In 1850, after Waterloo.
After Waterloo.
After Waterloo, they still
also
kept fighting here. Do you know? This was a Caponier to fire in two directions, left and right.
This was?
And the Germans blew it all up. It stuck out from the wall into the ditch at Caponier.
That's what that was.
Like we were in at La Pompelle.
That's the one I thought we were looking for. See, I knew we were going the right direction.
Yeah, yes, we were looking for the Caponier. And it's disappeared. Ah, but this... And the architecture. Look at those little buttresses there.
The first building, first wall was you had the straight here.
Yes.
This is the first level, and after they build the other.
Another layer
and
on top. Yeah.
On the other one, they have the first observation balcony for the officers to see for the cannon. And, and after, when we built the Séré Rivières fortification upside, they rebuilt another part of the wall, and also we don't have access to the balcony.
So this bridge was rebuilt as well? Was this destroyed?
Yeah, it was rebuilt,
1850.
restored 5 years ago.
So this was Franco-Prussian war damage?
Well, from 1914, I suppose.
Well, there's World War I damage or World War
no,
Prussian?
it was just
in
old.
bad condition.
And also
All right. Nothing glorious. It was just old. All right, I get it.
Sorry.
Look, we have another prow, a ram of a warship here, don't we? To the bastion. But that one back there is magnificent.
So was this made to be destroyed if the fort were under siege?
The Pont
Yes.
Normand.
Yes.
It's
And
in wood, yeah.
Yeah.
To be burnt.
Brilliant. I mean,
this is the only entrance and exit of the fortress. I'm Hugo Wispera. I was born here and I make history study at Nancy. So here we are in Montmedy, the fortress, the Citadel of Montmedy. It comes from the first century after Jesus Christ. We have the Roman Empire come here to make an oppidum because we were near a great road of the Roman Empire for the legionaries go to defend the frontier against the Germanic tribes. Also during the medieval time we have the Frank came here at the 5th century, and also they rebuilt the oppidum. And after we don't know the history of Montmedy, and during the 13th century we were in the land of the County of Chiny, and also the Count of Chiny, who calls Arnold III, want to change his own capital, and also he fell his capital city and his castle of Chiny here to rebuild another one here at Montmedy, and also he built a castle at Montmedy, and he built a city here in Montmedy. After the history, there is a lot of war and stories. night time. Also, we goes to the Luxembourg Duchy. After we goes to the Burgundian Duchy, and after the Burgundian Duchy, we come to the Austrian Archduchy. And also during this time, they during the 17th century, they want to rebuild the citadel. Also, they destroy the medieval town and the medieval castle to rebuild them like the forts that we have here. Also, it was rebuilt for to be more defensive against the cannon, and also we have the fourth fort here. After we have some battle in 1677. Also, during this time, we were under the government of the Lord of Dalamont, Spanish nobleman, and also the King Louis XIV comes here to besiege the castle of Montmedy. The governor of Dalamont was killed during the action, and also during this time, 2 years after, Montmedy became for the first time of his life French, and we come at the French kingdom. After this, during this battle, Vauban was here. He attacked the castle, and also for many years after, he had the order to rebuild the fortress, and also he finished the work here with the second part of the fortification that we have here, and also he make a little wall to protect the down city of Montmedy. After Montmedy was another time besieged during the French Revolution, during the end of the Napoleonic time, during the War of 1870, and also during the World War I, we have a French garrison here, and also the French garrison didn't have the power to defeat the German army here in Montmedy. Also, they go away to the front line at Verdun, and they were captured or killed during the Battle of Brownville. And also we were here at the occupied all of the time of the World War I by the German army, and we were the back front of the for German lines. And also every German soldiers or ammunition goes to the Verdun front comes at Montmedy, because the Germans have some trains, and they built some station to send all of the trains to Verdun here. And also during the World War II, we were at the Tête de Pont of Montmedy in the Maginot Line, and also the Citadel didn't use during the Second War because it's too old, but we have some garrison here on it. And during the World War II, we have just a bombardment by the Luftwaffe in May 1940. And after we were free by the American army in December 1944.
And within these walls and ditches, we can see so many of the evolutions of fortress design. As one era ends, a new begins, slaved to new technology of war. But to understand the direction of warfare, we have to understand the roots. And few roots come much bigger than here. Stay tuned for the next Lost Battlefields.
Behind me is Vanna von Braun's first test stand. Down the road is Diebner's nuclear reactor. Over there is the Maginot Line and all its amazing forts. I'm visiting them all and I'm bringing them to you. So I really appreciate you like, follow, and share what I'm doing, trying to document all these important historical locations. And if you feel like you want to watch more pictures or documents that I use for these, go to lostbattlefields.com. And if you feel like helping me out with my travels, because gasoline and travel and airfare is expensive, my PayPal is there, protectionserviceint.com. You are more than welcome, but you don't have to. I appreciate all your support and all your help, and I love seeing these locations, and I love bringing them to you.